Have you ever had one of those days where time just seems to melt away? You're so completely absorbed in what you're doing that the rest of the world fades into the background. Your focus is absolute, your creativity is firing on all cylinders, and you're getting more done in a few hours than you normally would in an entire day. This incredible feeling has a name: the flow state. It's often described as being in the zone, a state of peak performance and deep enjoyment where your mind is fully immersed and your productivity soars. It feels almost magical, like something that happens by pure chance. But what if I told you it wasn't magic? What if you could learn to summon this state of peak performance on demand? The truth is, flow isn't just a happy accident. It's a psychological state that can be intentionally triggered. The key lies in creating specific, repeatable rituals that signal to your brain that it's time to enter this highly focused mode. By building a consistent pre-work routine, you're essentially creating a launch sequence for your mind, preparing it for deep, uninterrupted work, and making flow a regular part of your daily life rather than a rare occurrence. In this video, we're going to break down the science and strategy behind this. I'm going to share 7 practical, evidence-backed rituals that you can start using today to consistently enter your mental peak. These aren't complicated life hacks. They are simple, actionable steps that will help you design your own personal system for triggering flow. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit to help you work smarter, feel more engaged, and unlock a level of productivity you might not have thought possible. So, let's get into it. So, the first and arguably one of the most foundational rituals is what I call environmental anchoring. Think of your brain like a highly intelligent but slightly forgetful assistant. It relies on cues from your environment to understand what it's supposed to be doing. If you try to do deep, focused work on the same sofa where you watch Netflix and eat pizza, you're sending mixed signals. Your brain associates that space with relaxation and entertainment, not concentration. To truly prime your mind for flow, you need to create a dedicated space that screams, "It's time to focus." This doesn't mean you need a fancy, expensive home office. It can be a specific corner of your room, a particular chair at the dining table, or even a designated spot at a local library. The key is consistency. The goal here is to build a powerful psychological association. When you sit down in this space, your brain should automatically start shifting into work mode. You can amplify this effect by controlling the sensory inputs. Make sure your workspace is as clutter-free as possible. Physical clutter often leads to mental clutter. Optimize your lighting. Natural light is fantastic, but a good desk lamp can also reduce eye strain and keep you alert. You can also use ambient sounds like white noise, rain sounds, or instrumental music to drown out distracting noises and create a consistent audio backdrop for your focus sessions. This entire setup becomes a powerful, multi-sensory trigger, an anchor that tells your brain, "When we are here, we do deep work." Now that your physical environment is set, it's time to prepare your internal environment, your mind and body. This brings us to our second ritual, a pre-work movement routine. We often think of productivity as a purely mental game, sitting still and forcing our brains to work. However, our physiology is deeply connected to our cognitive performance. Spending just a few minutes on intentional movement before you start a deep work session can have a profound impact on your ability to enter flow. It's not about doing a full-on sweat-inducing workout, but rather about waking up your body and boosting blood flow to the brain. This simple act helps shake off any physical lethargy and mental grogginess, preparing you for sustained focus. This ritual can be incredibly simple and personalized to what feels good for you. It could be 5 minutes of gentle stretching to release tension in your neck, shoulders, and back, especially if you've been sitting for a while. It could be a short, brisk walk around the block to get some fresh air and elevate your heart rate slightly. Or you could try a few rounds of simple breath work, like the box breathing technique, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding for 4. This calms the nervous system and improves oxygenation. The goal is to create a clear transition from a state of rest or distraction to a state of alert readiness, priming both your brain and body for the focused work ahead. With your space and body prepared, the next step is to align your mind. Ritual number 3 is all about focused intention setting. It's incredibly difficult to enter a state of flow if you're not entirely sure what you're supposed to be working on. Vague goals like work on my project or study for my exam are killers of focus because they lack clarity and direction. Your brain thrives on specificity. Before you even think about starting your work, take just 2 or 3 minutes to define a crystal clear, achievable micro goal for the session. What is the one specific thing you want to accomplish in this next block of time? It's not about planning your entire day, but about defining your single most important task for the immediate future. For example, instead of write my essay, your intention could be draft the first 300 words of the introduction, or find and summarize 3 key academic sources for my argument. This clarity eliminates decision fatigue and provides a precise target for your mental energy. To make this even more powerful, you can add a quick visualization exercise. Close your eyes for 30 seconds and vividly imagine yourself successfully completing that micro goal. Picture yourself typing the final word of the introduction or highlighting the last key point in a research paper. This mental rehearsal not only boosts your motivation but also aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious goal, making it significantly easier to slip into that focused, productive flow state. Okay, so you have your clear intention. The challenge now is to maintain that focus over a period of time without getting derailed or burning out. This is where ritual number 4 comes in, using timers, and specifically, the Pomodoro technique. This method is brilliant in its simplicity. You decide on a task, set a timer for a focused work interval, traditionally 25 minutes, and work with singular focus on that one task until the timer rings. There are no interruptions, no checking your phone, no quick email glances. When the timer goes off, you take a short break, usually about 5 minutes. After 4 of these work intervals, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. This structure is a game changer for a few key reasons. Firstly, the 25-minute block feels manageable. It's a short enough sprint that your brain doesn't feel intimidated, which helps overcome procrastination. Secondly, it creates a sense of urgency. Knowing the clock is ticking encourages you to stay on task and avoid distractions. Most importantly, the built-in breaks are crucial for preventing mental fatigue. They give your brain a chance to rest and recharge, ensuring that your focus remains sharp throughout multiple sessions. The breaks are not for checking social media. They are for standing up, stretching, getting a glass of water, or just looking out the window. By time boxing your work, you're not just managing your time. You're actively managing your energy and attention, which is, honestly, the secret to sustained flow. This next ritual might sound obvious, but its importance cannot be overstated. To achieve true flow, you must be ruthless in minimizing distractions. In our hyper-connected world, our attention is the most valuable currency, and every app, notification, and pop-up is designed to steal it. Flow state is, by its nature, a fragile state. A single notification, a quick text message, or an email alert can be enough to completely shatter your concentration, and studies show it can take over 20 minutes to regain that same level of deep focus after an interruption. Therefore, protecting your focus time isn't just a suggestion, it is a non-negotiable prerequisite for getting into the zone. This means creating a digital fortress around your work session. The most effective step is to put your phone on silent, or even better, move it to another room entirely. Out of sight, out of mind. On your computer, close all unnecessary tabs and applications. Use a website blocker extension like Freedom or Cold Turkey to prevent yourself from reflexively checking social media, news sites, or email. It's also important to manage social distractions. If you live or work with others, let them know you're starting a focus block and ask not to be disturbed for a specific period. You can even put a small sign on your door. This isn't about being antisocial. It's about respecting your own work and teaching others to do the same. We've managed our external environment, but what about the noise inside our own heads? Our minds are often a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, to-do lists, and random ideas, which makes it very difficult to settle into a state of deep focus. This is where ritual number 6, a short pre-session mindfulness or meditation practice, becomes incredibly powerful. The goal here isn't to achieve some state of spiritual enlightenment, but to perform a mental reset. It's like clearing the cache on your computer's RAM. By taking just 3 to 5 minutes to sit quietly and focus on your breath, you can effectively quiet that internal chatter and create the mental space necessary for flow. This practice trains your attention muscle. Every time your mind wanders during the meditation and you gently bring your focus back to your breath, you are strengthening your ability to control your attention. This is the exact same skill you need to stay on task when you're working. You can use an app like Headspace or Calm for a guided session, or you can simply set a timer and sit in silence. The practice is simple. Close your eyes, sit comfortably, and bring your full attention to the sensation of your breath moving in and out of your body. When you notice your mind has wandered, just gently and non-judgmentally guide it back. Starting your work from a place of calm clarity rather than mental chaos dramatically increases your chances of dropping into flow. Our final ritual ties everything together and solidifies the habit. This is the power of a consistent start cue. Remember how we talked about environmental anchoring? This ritual takes that concept and distills it into a single, simple action that acts as the final go signal for your brain. It's the equivalent of a sprinter hearing the starting pistol. This cue should be something unique that you only do right before you begin a deep work session. Over time, your brain will build a powerful conditioned response to this trigger, a Pavlovian-style association where the cue itself initiates the mental shift toward focus, making it almost automatic to get into the zone. The beauty of this ritual is its flexibility. You can choose any cue that resonates with you. It could be a sensory cue, like lighting a specific scented candle, or a stick of incense that you only use for work. It could be an auditory cue, like playing the same specific song or a particular ambient soundscape to kick off every session. It could even be a physical cue, like putting on a specific work-only sweater or pair of glasses, or taking a sip of a particular type of tea or coffee from a designated focus mug. The key is consistency. Whatever you choose, perform this action religiously right before you start your timer. This final, deliberate step in your ritual sequence acts as a clear, unambiguous signal to your brain. All preparations are complete and it is now time to enter flow. So there you have it. 7 powerful, practical rituals you can use to stop waiting for flow to happen by accident and start creating it on purpose. From anchoring your environment to setting clear intentions and using consistent start cues, each of these steps helps build a reliable system for accessing your peak mental state. Remember, getting into the zone isn't a matter of luck or something reserved for creative geniuses. It's a trainable skill. Like building a muscle, the more you practice these rituals and honor your focus time, the stronger your ability to concentrate will become, and the more easily and frequently you'll find yourself in that state of effortless productivity. The key now is to take action, but don't feel like you have to implement all 7 rituals perfectly overnight. The goal is progress, not perfection. I encourage you to experiment. Start by picking 1 or 2 of these rituals that resonate with you the most and incorporate them into your routine this week. See how it feels. Pay attention to what works for you and what doesn't. Your perfect flow triggering sequence will be unique to you, so treat this as a fun experiment in self-optimization. Tweak and adapt these ideas to fit your own personality, workflow, and lifestyle. To help you get started and stay consistent, I've put together a simple flow rituals checklist that you can download for free. It summarizes all the points we talked about today and gives you a simple way to track your progress as you build this new habit. You can find the link in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on productivity, learning, and living a more intentional life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.